How y'all doing? My name is Miss Nicole, and there's a few things I want to say. First off, I want to say I got involved in this because I saw the young people coming out. And as a community organizer and as an activist, one of my main drives is getting young people engaged in what's going on in their world. Unfortunately, it took the death of their friend for them to stand up and say something's not right. And as their elders, as people who've been doing this work, we have a duty to them to empower them to fight their fight and not fight it for them. So when we have skills and talents, don't just step in and say, oh, well, I know how to cook, so I'm gonna make your food for you. Say, you know what, I know how to make that, let me show you. So if you have a skill or talent, the young man got up here and talked about the proclamation that he wrote. These are things that a lot of our young people don't know about, processes they don't understand. We have to get involved in empowering them and educating them so that they can be the stewards of this planet. We're not gonna be here to protect them. Raise your hand if you're a parent, okay? You know to be a good parent is not to protect your child from the world, but to teach your child how to protect themselves when they go out in it, right? So we need to do that. We can do that in many ways. We can come to these marches and rallies and give these young people tools so that they can keep doing this work. We can stop when we see, I was driving over with my nephew who I'm empowering every day. He's probably sick of me empowering him. On our way over here, I saw the police lights going and I told him, I was like, every time I see the lights, I wanna stop. But I can't, because I gotta go to this meeting. But there are times when I do stop. When I see police lights going, there was one time I saw a sheriff pull a brother over, which I found weird because I didn't know sheriffs could pull you over on city streets. So I thought it was suspect. So I pulled over and I got out of the car, and at that time the brother was out of the car and the sheriff was talking to him. And after the sheriff went back to their car, I went over, I said, are you okay? He's like, yeah. I'm like, he's not messing with you. He's like, no, but if you want to stay and watch, you can. I'm like, I'll stay and watch. So we're talking, and I said, why did you get pulled over? He said, well, he said my tail light's out, but I just fixed my tail light. I said, oh, interesting. So I just stood there. I didn't talk to the sheriff. I didn't engage with the sheriff. I just stood there, and the sheriff knew I was watching him. So when the brother went over to the car to talk to the sheriff, he comes back, and I said, well, what happened? He said, oh, well, he's not giving me a ticket. And I said, get in your car and pump your brake lights for me. The brake lights came on. This happens to people every day. It is their word against a so-called official, and then they have to go to court and they have to take a plea for something that they didn't do. We have got to stop allowing this to happen. We have to step up when we see injustice. We have to let them know that we are watching and that we care. One more thing I want to talk about is, in the media right now, they're talking about these officers from Green Bay, right? So they got some hardcore evidence on them, unlike Lucas Peterson right now, right? So they're trying to distance themselves from that, right? Oh no, they're not a reflection, that's a bad image. We've got to handle this. Those of us that live in Northside are saying what? That's exactly what we're talking about. We live this every day. This is not a few cops doing this. It's all of them. There's a few cops not doing this, okay? This is all day, every day. You go around and talk to anybody on Northside and ask them about their encounters with the police. They don't respect us. They treat us like animals. They talk to us as if we are worthless. They think their job is to contain us as if we are animals in a zoo, and that is how they treat us. They treat us less than that. They're probably better to their dogs at home than they are to the black people in this community, and it has got to stop. The last thing I want to say is, I am so thankful and so honored to have met the young people who started this movement, the people like Ray Ray and Emma and Sierra and Tezzy. These beautiful young people are out here fighting for something that they believe in with all of their heart and all of their soul, and they're not going to give up. And we have got to continue to support them. We cannot get busy with our lives. Like the brother here said, we can't put our jobs and all this material bullshit, sorry for the language, that's how I talk sometimes. We cannot put that before the lives of other human beings. And like my brother Nocello said at another table we sat at, white people, whether you like it or not, okay? In order for there to be equity in this community and in this country, there are certain privileges that you have got to acknowledge you are going to have to give up. That is part of the struggle too. And I have had to go through that struggle as somebody who has a college degree, somebody who has fair skin, someone who speaks articulately. They like to tell you that. You speak so well. I have to give up my privilege. I can't be willing to say, well, because I can pass for white or I can get along in white society, I got to take advantage of those opportunities. If I end up in those spaces, I'm just as much black me as I am when I'm not in those spaces. I don't turn that on and off to appease them. I let them know this is a problem in my community and you have to address this like everybody else. So we have to keep fighting, keep supporting these young people, do everything you can. No matter how small, it all adds up. If everybody in this room puts in a little bit of time, we will get this fight won. Thank you.